You talk a lot about, you've got different phrases that you use. You talk about impact investment and regenerative capitalism and regenerative economics. Let's start quite high level for a start with regenerative capitalism or economics. What on earth is that? It sounds like growing vegetables. Tell me more.
Well, let me even start at even a higher level before I describe regenerative economics. Let's get really clear on what the problem is. And for me, reading Limits to Growth, which was written in the 70s by some MIT system science professors and students, really is the heart of the matter, which is that exponential growth on a finite planet doesn't work forever. It can work for a long time, just like you can go into a forest and cut down trees for a long time. But if you do that and you grow the rate of that exponentially, the material throughput of our human economy is now breaching the ecological boundaries of our finite planet. And this is a laws of physics issue, not an ideological issue or a political question. And of course, finance is grounded in the exponential function as well, compound returns. And so you have what's the word? You have a conflict that cannot be resolved without fundamentally rethinking how an economy needs to work. And I'm not smart enough to figure out that problem, but I have a very clear hypothesis which is built on lots of smart people's thinking over literally centuries, which is that any sustainable system will need to mimic and behave the way living systems behave if it's to be sustainable over a long period of time. And that is the foundation of this idea of regenerative economics. Regeneration is the process that any living system, that describes a living system. So my body, your body is a living system, and it stays a living system because it's regenerating in real time all the time. Literally at a cellular level, our bodies are regenerating. And that's also true for any living system up to the scale of the entire planet itself. And so my simple premise is that the human economy is made up of human beings that are living systems, and therefore the human economy is a living system. And if it's going to sustain itself, it needs to behave the way living systems behave and reflect the qualities of living systems. And what's remarkable is that happens to be completely in alignment with indigenous wisdom that has also stood the test of time. So either an economist needs to make the case that the human economy is the only living system that can violate the laws of living systems, or we're going to need to figure out how to convert our human economy into a system that behaves in accordance with the patterns and principles of living systems. So we can call that a regenerative economy. I initially called it regenerative capitalism, in part not to cause my capitalist friends to run for the door. But if it is a capitalist system, it's a different kind of capitalism than we think of today. And a better name for it might be regenerative multi-capitalism. In other words, the capital is not just financial capital, but social capital, environmental capital, ecological system health, ecological system function, relational capital, and even spiritual capital.